And I have much more confidence, or I'm turned out to be right, that they would destroy themselves faster than the Democrats could in any way, shape, or form destroy the Republican Party. This is not the Sununu family Republican administration that we look in here in Washington. And I'm just saying what the facts are, what the facts on the ground. They're doing just fine on their own. They don't need our help.
Now, that would be something, a James Carville, John H. Sununu panel, but we'll put that with Chris Cuomo, because you never had to bring a report card home to that guy, so God bless it.
Ever noticed how both Trump and Musk promise the moon but deliver nothing but chaos? James Carville just exposed their entire playbook on live TV, and Trump is absolutely fuming about it. Carville didn't just criticize these guys. He performed a public autopsy of their tactics. He showed exactly how they turned scandals into PR stunts and mistakes into brand opportunities. Trump's furious tweets afterward only proved Carville's point. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now back to the video. Ever wonder how a 78-year-old political strategist managed to get under the skin of two of the most powerful men in America simultaneously? James Carville didn't just criticize Trump and Musk. He dissected them with the precision of a surgeon and the timing of a comedian. What Carville calls a crawfish boil gone wild was actually a masterclass in exposing the shared playbook these two billionaires use every single day. While most Trump critics scream themselves hoarse with outrage, Carville took a different approach. He didn't need to yell or pound his fist on the table.
When he leaves, he's leaving a lot of stuff behind. It's all shit. It's all shit. And the damage that they have done to this country is incalculable. It just is. I actually think it's not even a good business decision, because, you know, when you hire a firm like that, I mean, you supposedly you're getting the best. You're certainly paying for like you're getting the best. And I love how predictable it is that Trump says he's going to be leaving town shortly. Mm-hmm. That's so transparent.
Instead, he deployed what sources describe as clinical comedy disguised as commentary, a deadly, effective technique that cuts through the noise. It's like watching someone disarm a bomb while telling jokes. You're laughing until you realize how serious the situation actually is. The genius of Carville's approach was putting these two seemingly different men side by side. On paper, they couldn't be more different. One sells electric cars and rocket ships, the other sells red hats and border walls. But Carville showed how they're running identical con games with different packaging. Trump wraps himself in the American flag while his merch gets made overseas. Musk talks about colonizing Mars while firing Twitter employees via email. Same tactics, different wrapping paper. What really got under Trump's skin was how Carville exposed his patriotic persona as nothing but an act. Calling him a con man wrapped in a flag wasn't just a catchy insult. It was surgical in its precision. While Trump rants about windmills and sells red hats,
I said he doesn't like the United States. He does not pull for the country, and we know from the evidence that that is highly likely to be true.
Who does he like?
He did everything good to get out of the draft. He says the country is fat slobs. He says his own people are poorly educated. He doesn't like our laws. He doesn't like our friends. He doesn't like our alliances.
He likes North Korea.
He doesn't like soldiers. He told General Kelly that soldiers were fools.
He's actually just using patriotism as a marketing tool. It's like someone selling American-made stickers that were manufactured in China. The irony would be funny if it wasn't so calculated. For Musk, Carville didn't pull any punches either. He pointed out how Musk's grand free speech crusade falls apart the second someone criticizes him. For a guy who claims to champion open dialogue, he sure spends a lot of time banning reporters and silencing dissent on his platform. It's like someone declaring their house a free speech zone, then kicking out anyone who mentions the ugly carpet. The hypocrisy is just too obvious to ignore. But the most devastating part of Carville's takedown wasn't just pointing out their individual contradictions. It was connecting the dots between their shared tactics.
And you did a New York Times op-ed, I think it was just back in February, suggested that the Democrats should quote, strategically retreat, roll over and play dead, allow the Republicans to crumble beneath their own weight.
You know, he ran a pretty taut ship when he was the chief of staff to the White House. You didn't have this kind of stuff going on. You know, I know that the Sununu family has traditionally been a free trade, low deficit family. Well, have we looked at the markets? Have you looked at what you're reporting now, that they're making all these massive chaff stains internally? You know, I knew your dad very well, Governor.
Both men have mastered the art of turning absolute disasters into PR wins. As Carville noted, every scandal is another PR stunt, every screw-up a brand opportunity. When normal people make mistakes, they apologize. When Trump or Musk mess up, they double down, create chaos, and somehow make more money from it. It's like watching someone crash a car and then sell tickets to see the wreckage, and people actually pay. The pattern is painfully clear once Carville points it out. Both men promise revolutions while delivering nothing but chaos that benefits themselves. They position themselves as outsiders, fighting the system while actually being the system themselves. Trump talks about draining the swamp while filling his administration with lobbyists. Musk talks about saving humanity while treating his workers like disposable parts. It's all smoke and mirrors designed to hide what they're really doing.
What happened to just kind of laying low and letting the Republicans fall apart?
I don't want to correct a guy as smart as you, but it is the Democratic Party, not the Democrat Party.
Democratic Party, sorry.
Yeah, okay. The political party
deal.
has a right to be called what he wants to. You are governor of a state that a Republican could lose easily. I mean, you have to pitch everybody in New Hampshire to get elected and to be effective as a governor of the Democratic Party. And I mean, that's fine if Congressman Ocasio-Cortez wants to go around or Senator Sanders. They come from places that they can't lose.
Enriching themselves at everyone else's expense. What made Carville's crawfish boil analogy so effective wasn't just its Louisiana charm. It was how perfectly it captured the chaotic, attention-seeking behavior of both men. As the source explains, Carville practically held up a mirror and said, "Look, America, these aren't rebels. They're just clowns and gold-plated Teslas." He stripped away their carefully cultivated images to reveal what's underneath. Two attention-hungry businessmen who've convinced millions there's something more. And how did Trump respond to being exposed? Exactly how Carville predicted he would, with fury that generated even more attention, which he then monetized. It's like watching someone complain about a restaurant in a way that gets the restaurant more customers. It doesn't make any sense until you realize that generating attention is actually the goal. Every criticism becomes just another opportunity for outrage, which becomes another opportunity for fundraising. Chaos isn't accidental. As Carville pointed out, chaos isn't a side effect, it's the business model. What Carville just did goes way beyond making Trump throw a tantrum on Truth Social.
So, on the Democrat side, on the messaging side, you say, just wait for the Republican Party to retreat. But what we don't see out of folks like Senator Sanders or now out with AOC, they're doing their tour. They're kind of pushing that, left-wing, progressive, woke.
I think when people should do, when you look at Senator Slotkin, Senator Baldwin, Senator Rosen, Senator Geigo, these are the kinds of people that are the future. They can't lose their districts. And what I'm concerned about, what I want to hear voices from, are people that are running in places that they could lose, that they have to win. So I make a big difference.
He handed us all a free BS detector that works on more than just these two ego monsters. Next time you see some rich guy in a fancy suit claiming he's fighting for the little guy while flying private, your detector will start beeping like crazy. That's the real genius here. Carville didn't just expose Trump and Musk, he taught us how to spot their whole breed. These aren't revolutionary visionaries changing the world. They're just salesmen with better PR teams than the guy selling you extended warranties. And now we can all see right through them.